We're now pleased to be joined with Regina Pats General Manager Alan Millar after a fairly busy Saturday afternoon in which Alan picks up a first-round pick in 2025 from the Everett Silvertips, along with a skilled forward in Caden Brown in exchange for 2006-born forward Jaxsin Vaughan. And Alan, thanks for taking the time and joining me on the Leader Post Intermission Show. We'll just get your overall thoughts on the trade and how important this is, not only for the future, but also for right now as you get a veteran forward in Brown.
Yeah, thanks, Dante. And, first, before we get into the details of the trade, I'd just like to back up a little bit and be transparent with our fan base on what's happened here the last few days, and the fact that Jaxsin and Corbin Vaughan were not with our team on the trip to Brandon and did not play last night in Brandon. So, first off, we dealt this week with what was a hockey-related matter with Corbin Vaughan. The end result of that matter was that we did Corbin indefinitely from the hockey. From there, discussions with Corbin and his representation. At that time, we agreed that we would look at trade options for Corbin in the WHL, obviously. From there, and the dynamic of Jaxsin and Corbin and identical twins, and if you remember back in their draft year, it was important that they were drafted together to the same team. So based on the position that we had with Corbin, Jaxsin also did not want to remain in Regina. So we began to work on moving both players. We finalized the trade today, as you mentioned, sending Jaxsin to Everett, and Corbin will return home and wait at home until we can finalize a trade for him. So that's the situation that we've dealt with, and we move on. And we're very pleased with the trade today. Caden Brown is a former first-round pick in the league. He scored 18 goals as a 17-year-old. He's a skilled guy that we think can help generate offense for our hockey club, and we continue to add valuable draft capital and add another first-round pick. To our mix of draft picks, and those are going to be important as we stockpile picks here going back to last year. Those are going to be very important as we move forward and build this hockey club.
Alan, you have 2 first-round picks in this year's WHL Prospects Draft, 2 first-round picks in next year's WHL Prospects Draft, as well as 2 second-round picks in this year's draft and 2 second-round picks in next year's draft as well. And I guess one message that I would love to deliver to the fan base, because really in Regina, people haven't gone through a true rebuild where you're rebuilding the right way, where you're building from the draft and through complementing those players in the future with maybe a trade here and there, something that you and I have talked about a lot in various different interviews. But Alan, how pleased are you to see the draft picks that you have in your cupboard right now heading in not only this year's WHL draft, but also next year's as well?
Well, and again, you noted, Dante, in your comments that you have to draft well, you have to develop your players, and that's the only way to build and give yourself a chance to have a competitive team and hopefully one day become a championship team. So if you look over the next 2 drafts and to talk about 8 picks in the first and second rounds, and it's a great opportunity for our management group, Dale Durkach, and our scouting staff. Those individuals will be excited in terms of how we prepare and how we move forward over the next couple of years. And, those picks are going to be very, very important to our team and in the big picture to our franchise.
Historically, the Regina Pats have never had 2 first-round picks in one draft, let alone back-to-back drafts. Maybe just describe how excited Pats fans should be in the next couple of years to know that some young, exciting players are going to be coming through the Brandt Center in years to come.
Yeah, I think it's exciting. I think we've started the process of adding some good young players to our group. I think we're all very optimistic about our 2009 age group and some of the players that we've gotten signed through the U.S. Prospects draft as well. Time will tell where all these picks will fall, between 1 and 22, and we'll see how that all plays out. But, certainly over the years, when you've looked at teams, whether it's been Prince George, Winnipeg with Savoy and Geeky, I had a team in Moose Jaw that we had 2 first-round picks. We took Jet Wu and Luca Burzan. A lot of the top-end players, come into our league out of the first round, and I think that there certainly can be some excitement amongst our fan base, and again, we work forward. There's a lot of work to get into the rinks, to evaluate players, to do our research on players, and we certainly look forward to that process and getting the right people and the right players into our organization through these drafts.